Alrighty, so when we get to our Stocktake, load up the Stocktake you started. Okay, I'm going to use the term for 2022 one. Okay, you can see here I've done a few counts here on my Stocktake. You've got a total of 48 items. I've manually counted 43. System count is 0 for those who weren't in the session last week. System count is where the system counts items for you. Okay, it's very simple. If an item comes in from loan, okay, so a student has that item that matches your filter of your Stocktake, you scan that in to circulation. The system will go, hey, I see this record. I also see you have an active Stocktake. Active meaning it hasn't been closed, and then it'll count that for you. Okay, and then in the reports you'll be able to filter out the system counts. It'll tell you why the system counted it for you. Now there can be a number of reasons: circulation, catalog. Okay, so you've SCIS imported a record and you've set the location, sublocation to be matching to this, then it'll count it for you. Or if you have an existing record that you've changed all the details for in SmartSuite in the catalog, then I'll count that for you as well. Okay. All right. You see, I've got 5 missing items. Now, what I want to do when I'm at this stage is do some reporting. Okay, so find those items that are missing. Okay, from the Stocktake, and then we can go out into the library, hunt them down, put that report aside. For a week or so. If they come in from the loan, then great. If not, then we can go ahead and look at global change. Alright, so your report module will always, Stocktake report module will always load up the full list of items. Okay, you've always got a report number here. Okay, that number is the number of items that are in that report. You have a few options here to select from. You can filter out a report using a keyword search. So I want everything with, I can see it's all Harry Potter, so I'll put Harry. Okay, I'll hit that recycle. Okay, it's going to spit out that same list of items that all have the term Harry in them. Okay, so you can see I've got 47 of the 48. So one item doesn't have the word Harry in it. Okay, I can just remove that. Hit my little refresh button. Cat in a hat, doesn't have Harry in it. Alrighty, so you can also filter out by status. Okay, so that's copy status. If there are any other copy statuses in your Stocktake, you can filter them out. You also have a filter option here. Now these are mainly the options you're going to select from when running reports. All, which is by default what's going to load, which is everything. Your to be counted. Now this is, it gets a little tricky because this is your missing items. Okay, so items that still have to be counted into the Stocktake. So if you filter that out, hit your little refresh. Okay, it'll tell you this is the list of items that I have not seen scanned into the Stocktake, whether or not that's a manual count or a system count. Okay, so you can print this off using these options here. So you can print, export it to a CSV or Excel document so that you can modify it in Excel, for example. So these options here will allow you just to get that information off the screen onto some paper. You can even put that aside for your library aide to, if she sees them, perfect, she can scan them into the Stocktake. Or if they come in from a return, the system will count them for you, but just keep an eye on those missing items. Okay. You do have the option to filter out your all counted. Okay, so all counted is just everything that's been counted, whether or not it's manual count, system count. Your manual count only, so if you want to eliminate the system count from the system, you just want to know what has been scanned in, either by yourself or by your library aide. And then you have system count, so that's purely your system count. I might show you what system count looks like. If we just go to be counted, grab this barcode. do a little dodgy here and just loan it out and loan it back in. Oops. Loan that book out to me. Okay, smash it into return. Okay, come back to my Stocktake. I'll just refresh this Stocktake. And then we can see we have now one system count. Okay, if I go back to my report, I'll filter out my system counted, hit the refresh, and here it is. So you can see here, counted by circulation, returned in on this date at this time. Okay, so that's how system count works. It's good to know. Obviously, you yourself are not going to be physically holding the book when it's scanned into the Stocktake. So running a system count report really helps you understand, okay, you know, this is how many items were system counted and why they were system counted. Okay, you got your wrong counted report. Now this is everything that's scanned into the barcode that doesn't belong to the Stocktake, or for example, a barcode doesn't exist. These items will appear here in this list. Okay, you can go ahead and fix those up once they've been scanned in here. Alrighty, but that's your wrong counted report there. And then the last one here we have is finance report. And you'll see here how much information it actually does give when it's ready. Okay, so you have a by type, meaning just everything that's there. Your missing items, what hasn't been scanned in, and what's been counted. So it's always good to know this information. We've also got a by copy status here. So if you had a lost copy status in your Stocktake, you can see the price of what's been lost in your Stocktake. Now if I go to look back at here, the counted, okay, so you can see here you do have total price, which is your cost field in SmartSuite, as well as your replacement, which is the replacement field. You do obviously need to make sure that your cost and replacement fields are filled out. Not everyone has them filled out, so definitely if you don't have them filled out, have a look at doing that so that you get an accurate report that you can pass off to the whoever needs to see it. So principal, to let them know, hey, you know, we haven't lost any books this year, or we have lost a lot of books this year. Whoever it is that you need to show this information to. All right, so that's your reporting side of the Stocktake. Okay, very simple. There aren't many reports that you really need apart from the to be counted, in my opinion, and the finance report, as well as your wrong counted report, depending on how big your Stocktake was, if you weren't fixing the items up as you scanned them. Okay, so they're the ones you're mainly going to be wanting to play with. Alrighty. Now, if you did want to do some global changes, you do have that option here. You'll see that on the right hand side of your screen here where it says change now. It is a limited version of the global change function that you'll find in your configuration page, global functions. Okay, so it gives you the option to really only change what you see here. So media, copy status, location, sublocation, and site. Okay, so if you saw you wrong counted, for example, you run a wrong counted report. I don't have any in here, but you could select these and say, hey, you know, 20 of the 30 wrong counted all have the sublocation of non-fiction when they should have the sublocation of fiction. You can select them using the little tick boxes that you appear. I'll just show you by doing this one. Okay, so you select them here and go, okay, I want to change their sublocation to whatever it is that you need to change it to. Okay, so filing cabinet, for example, you hit change now, Okay, to go give you a little pop-up, and this pops up. It's just confirming that you want to make these changes on these selected items. Okay, you've got two options up the top here. If you have selected something like I have in the background there, it'll always default to all selected barcodes. Okay, if for whatever reason I remove those and I go again back to change now, okay, it's going to say all selected. I want to select barcodes by filter. Okay, that's 4. You just need to make sure that that number there matches that number there. So 4 in my report, 4 items that are going to be updated. I'll type in here yes, confirm update. That will then change those records sublocations from fiction, which is what it is now, to filing cabinet. They will then be removed from the Stocktake. So your total number of 48, in my case 48, will be dropped down to 44, because these 4 items now no longer fit in my Stocktake because they have the sublocation of filing cabinet. Okay, so that's how your global functions work. It all runs off this report that you're running here, okay, and then whatever you're changing it to in your little change function on the right here. Okay, so really the main reason you'll be using that is for those little things, changing sublocations in bulk once you've done your Stocktake, and then really changing your location or mainly your copy status. Okay, so you'll see here I have the close Stocktake option at the top. This will only appear for the user that has created the Stocktake. So if you've given someone access to the Stocktake, or for example there are multiple admins at your system, at your site, sorry, they all have access to Stocktake. They also have access to Stocktakes you have created. However, they are not allowed to close the Stocktakes because they have not created them. Okay, so if, say, Jacob jumped on, had a look at my Stocktake, he'll see everything I see. However, he will not see this close Stocktake option, okay? Because I'm logged in as myself and I've created the Stocktake. Alrighty. And we've just done that so that people just don't go and muck around and close a Stocktake that they think is finished, but it isn't finished, and therefore you'll see in a second when I go through the close Stocktake steps that it does require you to change everything that is missing or to be counted to a new copy status. And there have been a number of times where people have created a Stocktake, then closed the Stocktake thinking, oh, it's wrong, I don't want that Stocktake, I didn't put in the right sublocation or whatever it is, and then they've closed it, and then obviously everything that it was in that Stocktake filter has then had their copy status changed from available to lost. Okay, so we've left that close Stocktake option for those who have created the Stocktake so they can manage it themselves, and when it is in fact ready to be closed, they are the ones to do that job as well. Okay, so that's your report and global change. It's again very simple. We don't want to put too much in here for you guys to be confused on what you're doing. But if you do have any questions about the reports and global change, just create a ticket for us and let us know what your queries are, and we'll either give you a call and help you walk you through it, or we can send you an article, or just reply via the mailbox to give you that information that you need. Okay, so once I'm 100% sure that I've looked everywhere for the missing books, so our to be counted items, I can confidently say I can't find them anywhere. It's been 3-4 weeks after I've completed the Stocktake. I'm ready to close this Stocktake and move these items to the new copy status of lost, or whatever copy status you choose, lost 2022, lost Stocktake, blah blah blah. It's up to you guys on what you want to do, but I will walk you through that process now. Okay, so I've gone through, definitely checked, I'm 100% happy to close the Stocktake and update the missing items. I'm going to click my close Stocktake. Your end date is always going to be the date that you finish your Stocktake. Okay, and just always read the pop-ups, because they will tell you what is about to happen and what you need to do. Okay, so By continuing, you will mark all uncounted items as a selected copy status, okay? And you will be unable to modify this Stocktake further. Okay, so that simply means when we close it, we're changing the copy status for all of the uncounted items, okay? So to be counted items, the missing items. And once the Stocktake's closed, you can no longer edit the Stocktake, okay? So you can't come in, you can't scan items that you found, you can't change the Stocktake filter or anything like that. All you can do is report on the Stocktake. Okay, so uncounted item status. I'm going to create a new one. Okay, you can use ones that are already existing in the system. Okay, they will be listed there. As you can see, we've got quite a few. I'm just going to go lost 2022. What was it? Term for fiction. Okay. Hit my little plus sign. Just going to tell me it doesn't already exist. Yes, I want to do it. Okay, it's just given that the ID there. Okay, I'm going to type in yes. Confirm close. Okay, so you can see Stocktake closed. I refresh the to be counted. Those items are gone again because they don't match my filter of copy status available, because the copy status has been changed to that new lost copy status that I just created. Okay, but you'll notice I can still run reports on my Stocktake. So my all counted, my system count, my finance report. Okay, so I can still come in here and run all these reports if I ever need to come back and have a look at those. Alrighty. So that is Stocktake. I like to think it's very simple. Once you know what it is that you're creating, so the filter that you're creating, once you understand that, the rest of it, scanning is super simple, updating records on the fly is super simple, your reports are simple as well. The global change is a little bit tricky depending on what you're trying to do, but if you're only just trying to simply update a sublocation of selected items in your Stocktake, or just changing the copy status, as you saw when we closed the Stocktake, it's pretty quick and easy to do. The beautiful thing about this Stocktake is you can run it throughout the year. Because of the system count, you always have it up to date. Obviously, if you're loaning items out, that does remove them from the Stocktake because they're no longer copy status available. But when they come back in at the end of the year, for example, the system will count all those for you. Even if you've already counted it once upon a time, it sees it as available, so it's going to count it. Alrighty, so if you do have any questions about Stocktake, I love doing Stocktakes, so just chuck through a mailbox ticket. Give us a call. I'm happy to give you guys a call, walk you through it, send you some information that or a small little thing that you might need that you're missing. Okay, if you're not already subscribed to our YouTube channel, please subscribe so you don't miss any of these videos that we do. We do weekly videos, so yeah, jump in, don't miss out. Also, if you aren't a part of our FSI community, jump into Facebook. If you don't have Facebook, I'm sorry, we are working on our own community that we're going to be bringing out hopefully soon, but in the meantime, Facebook, definitely jump on there. I post lots of things every week there. Anything that's happening goes up there. You also get the opportunity to talk to other librarians using the system as well. Ask them questions. They obviously run the system every single day. They have their little tricks and tips that they do to quicken what they need to be doing in the library. So definitely jump on there, have a look at that. We also have a PD session coming up early next week, I believe it is. What's the date today? 27th. Yep, so it's on the 2nd of November. Michael will be just going through how to build a more engaging, library system using TV for Education content, stuff like that. We've got lots of people registered already. But if you haven't registered, there's still time. I'll send out another notification tomorrow, just as a reminder for everyone, so that no one misses out. It will be recorded, so I can get that recording to you guys after the session's complete. But it's always good to speak to you guys in those sessions. I'll be running a little Q&A at the end, so if you have any questions about anything in regarding to Michael's session or something else, definitely jump in, ask us questions. I'm happy to answer them there. Alrighty, so as always, thank you for joining, and I'll catch you in the next video. See you guys.